Okay.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to today's class. We have in our class today light energy, and we believe that at the end of the class, the students should be able to define light energy, describe the various sources of light energy, describe how light is transmitted or transmission of light energy, and then the various types of being produced when light is transmitted. First, we have here light energy. We define light energy as that type of energy which is produced from different sources, and it comes up as a visible form of energy. That form of energy which can be seen with the use of the eyes. So we have the eyes as the sense organ which is able to detect this form of energy, and definitely it comes from a source. And then we say we have various forms or various sources of light. Under these sources of light, we have the natural sources of light, and artificial sources of light. Now, which types of sources of light do we call natural? We have the sun. The sun is a good example of a natural source of light. And then we have the stars, some aquatic animals like the deep blue whale. It produces light on its own. We also have the fireflies. All these fall under natural sources of light, and most times they are classified as luminous sources of light. Those ones that can generate light on their own. Such sources of light which generate light on their own are furthermore classified as luminous sources of light. Then we talk about artificial sources of light. We say they are those made by man. Those artificial sources of light are those sources of light made by man. We have an example, candle lights, we have electric bulb, the incandescent bulb. All these fall under artificial sources of light made by man. That is why we call them artificial. While the natural are those that exist naturally, they are not man-made. Then we come under transmission of light. Of course, we observe that when light is transmitted, it must always come from a source. And once it comes from a source, it is able to pass through solids, liquid, gas, or even vacuum. So since light can travel through vacuum, we say that it does not require any material medium for its propagation. In fact, that is why light is classified as an electromagnetic wave, because it has the ability of traveling through vacuum. We classify it under electromagnetic wave. So coming under that, we say that when light travels, it moves on a straight line. This brings us to rectilinear propagation of light. But then when light travels through a straight line, we call such a straight line through which light travels as a ray. So we say that a ray is defined as a single streak of light traveling along a path. And when this ray of light, just like we have, it is described with a straight line and an arrowhead. Now this arrowhead indicates the direction of this light wave or light ray. So this is a ray. A collection of this is known as a beam. We say that a beam is a collection of light rays. When these light rays are in collection, and we have about three of them, three types of beam. The first one we have is parallel, that's number one. We have parallel beam, and we define this parallel beam as a collection of rays that are traveling such that they are parallel to each other. When a collection of rays are such traveling, we call them a beam or a parallel beam. An example is a searchlight. A good example of a parallel beam is searchlight. Then number two we have is convergent beam. The convergent beam is a collection of rays which are targeted towards a point. They tend to converge at a point. And diagrammatically, we use this to describe such a beam. That's convergent, and then we have divergent. The third one, divergent. Divergent beam. Now, this is where the collection of rays spread out from a source. They spread out from a source, and we have with this diagram indicating a divergent beam. A good example of this is produced as convergent beam. That's our number 2. Is a beam or rays produced with the use of a lens. We can only produce convergent beam with the use of a lens, but divergent beam is well observed in our everyday life. Every source of light produces divergent beam. And that is where we'll draw the curtain for today's class. In the next class, we'll look at properly description of rectilinear propagation of light. Thank you.